I gotta wait. How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
Welcome to the share, where Miss Dreme always has a story.
I'm Dreme, a black woman with many beautiful interconnecting identities. A few I will name at this moment as we get started on this podcast journey together. A Bostonian, born and raised in the inner city, Dorchester and Roxbury neighborhoods, to a teenage single mother who has my whole heart. An educator, I've been working with youth and children since my teenage years, and formally, I have been teaching almost a decade now. That's wild to think about. An entrepreneur, I am the founder of The Chair, a black and brown centered tech platform dedicated to supporting people on their hair journey, where you can design hairboards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a more joyous experience. I have a workable site, my prototype. It took me 2 years to build, and now I'm on this adventure that you're currently on with me. My goal for this podcast is to share stories, black stories, educator stories, entrepreneurship stories, and hair stories. I want you to leave each episode with the opportunity to gain new insight, just a glimpse into my world or the worlds that are featured on my podcasts, a little chuckle during your day or night, possibly a little anger to encourage you to advocate for justice, and hope to continue learning and dreaming. So come in and listen to the beautiful voices in the chair as they share their stories, starting with me.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Hello, everyone. This is Michelle. Michelle, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Robinson Ewing. I am a retired naval officer. I spent 27 years in the military. I served across ranks from an enlisted sailor to an officer. I didn't like people telling me what to do, so therefore I had to make rank so that way fewer people could tell me what to do.
When it comes to your Navy journey, did you feel like as a black woman that you had a hair journey during that time? Or was
Hell yes,
it?
girl. Let me tell you about the Navy. You could tell that their regulations were tailored to white women and oppressive of black hair.
Mm.
When I came in the Navy, these were the regulations. We could have no more than 2 braids. No more. So that meant you could do the single, braid down the back. You could do a French braid, or you could do 2 cornrows, or you could have a plait, right? A plait, so you can wrap it around, and you could have 2 bobby pins, something like that, or 2 clips to hold your hair, and it had to be the same color as your hair.
Mm.
Girl, those regulations were ridiculous. I was there when I remember one of my first classes. She was an E6 and she was black. And every now and again, we would have what they now call town hall meetings, right? But they didn't call them that back then. They called them captain's call. And we had the chief of naval operations coming through. So they had us all together in an auditorium where we could ask questions, because that was the chief of naval operations coming through getting a climate check of the Navy. So they had him on like this whole circuit where he was traveling to different bases, right? I just happened to be on the largest naval base on the East Coast, and that was Norfolk. So he came, and I remember her standing up, AZ1. She was like, I have a question. He was like, well, what is it? And she said, I want to know how come I can't wear my hair in cornrows. She said, because that's how I naturally will wear my hair. It's neat. Is this, she presented her case, and he was like, okay. He had Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy write that down. He said, we will look into that. That was in she probably asked that question in 1990 or 1991. I think maybe 1990. We finally got a regulation allowing us to put cornrows in our hair, multiple cornrows in our hair. It came out in 95. And the reason why I remember it coming out in 95 is because I was able to get my hair put into braids in order to go over to Iceland, because I was going on the deployment to Iceland. And it was hot off the presses. Like, and a bunch of us ran out because they were like, it was like you could add hair to it. The way they wrote it meant we could get how we get our hair done now. They were like, it has to be braided all the way to the end. I mean, they get real restricted. Must be braided all the way to the end. Da 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 da. So we had it, where they could burn the ends and stuff like. So we ran out and got braids. I was like, okay, AZ1, come on through. We finally got it. It took years. So at least probably between 4 to 5 years for that regulation to come out, because they move very slowly. Especially if I feel like with us, you know what I'm saying? Pain and no rush.
That's pretty wild. I was born in 1992. I started building the chair, my hair platform, in 2021, and we're just having the same conversation in different fields in different ways.
Yes, absolutely. Because I guess the expectation was for us to, and she told him, she was like, when I put perms in my hair and stuff like that, it breaks my hair off. So she presented the case of why we should be able to wear our hair in cornrow, because it's a maintenance hairdo, right? So like I said, I was one of the first ones to get my damn braids as soon as them regulations came out. And we were not slow. Black women knew to carry the regulation in their pocket because it was so new that people gonna bother you. They're gonna come and they're gonna try to check you. You got these senior people that's gonna come and try to tell you your hair's out of regulation. So we made a copy of the regulation and we put it in our pocket. The first one, she got checked. She was like, no, chief, here it is. It's right here. She was like, oh, okay. So, she let it go. I was in Iceland and there was this one chick up in there. She was looking at me when I came in there and she said, is that in regulation? I said, yes, it is in regulations. Would you like to see it? She how you talking out loud. She's like, I can't believe they let y'all put that shit in y'all hair. Girl, I'm the one, right? So I said, what the F does that mean? I said, what shit would you be talking about? Oh, no. What I mean, I was like, no. What we not going to do is try to backpedal now. Because let me let you know a little bit of something. How the hell would you feel? I said, them telling me that I can't have braids in my hair is like telling you can't cut bangs into yours. She was like, what? I said, you been wearing them damn bangs since you was a little girl, wasn't you? She was like, well, yeah. I said, right. And I've been wearing braids since I was a little girl. And for the record, our hair is not shit. No, I know what you meant, and I'm checking you. So don't tell me what you meant. Fix it. And don't say that shit again to anybody else. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm that one. You better pick a softer target because I'm not the one. Well, no, Robinson, I didn't mean it. No, you meant exactly what the hell you said, and I'm just letting you know I'm not going for it. You just didn't think I was going to call you on it. Then they had that. So now we're able to wear braids. And here was the other thing. We could only dye our hair something that was a natural color. That's what it said. Hair must be dyed a natural color. Do you know they was trying to tell black women that they couldn't dye their hair blonde? And they were like, well, that's not your natural color. We like, it doesn't say my natural color. It says a natural color, meaning I can't come up in here with blue hair. Well, black people don't have blonde hair. That's not true. It's some black people that were born with blonde hair. But they didn't understand it. So it was always this fight. Now, I'm not one that dyes my hair, so that wasn't a big deal to me. But I started getting some highlights, right? And they was like, oh, your hair is two-tone. I was like, and so is Susie's, and so is Becky's, and so is such and such. They was like, no, it's not. I was like, they've got highlights. I got highlights. They got highlights. You let them highlight their hair. That's two tones. Oh, but it could look like the sun. And my hair could look like the sun is highlighting it too.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Look, it's my commercial. We will be right back.
It's more than just a bad hair day. It's a journey Finding the right hairstyle isn't easy, nor is finding the right stylist or the right products. Looking in every corner of the web gets messy, overwhelming, and exhausting. All the ads, the articles, the products, the videos, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And now, it isn't. The Chair. A black and brown centered platform where you can design hairboards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a new, joyful path on your hair journey. Avoid the clutter, save yourself hours, months, and even years of research and poor trial and error. Everything you need and only what you need is in one place. Hairboards made by people like you, for you. Find the right products, the right people, the right answers for you, stress-free. Join the Chair community and make every day a great hair day. When you share your pain, you allow others to help you. And when you share your success, you help others get theirs. Lean on the Chair. We got you. No stress, no strife. In the chair, the chair, the chair. All right.
So we used to have those discussions around hair because the hair regulations were very oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
And because if I try to wear my hair how it grows out of my head, once it gets to a certain length, my cover is not going to fit.
Your hat.
And that's one of the things that we used to have a challenge with in A school. I specifically remember a sister and her hair was natural, because you can only have so many pins in your hair because they will check, especially in boot camp. Her hat was sitting out like this. And so then she used to get in trouble. And then you got to go get your hair cut because her hair wasn't permed. Right. So the way the regulations were, it was like, oh, it can't be out more than 2 inches, or this meant this way can't be higher than this. So you're trying to put these covers on with our natural hair, and it's hard for you to wear your headgear correctly.
If you were natural, chose to perm your hair, didn't really take care of it, your cover or your hat or headgear would fit, but then you have all this hair breakage, hair maintenance problems. So then if you kept your hair natural, then you can only have 2 bobby pins and that wouldn't hold it. So then you would get dinged for that. That's wild.
Or your hat, your hat ain't gonna fit right because your hair is so thick, right? And then you're gonna get hit for that. So it was very oppressive. And then we started going through another challenge where one young lady was actually put out of the Navy. And I can't say that the Navy was wrong in this instant because she was running game the whole time. If you're going to change a system, you're going to have to kind of get in line and change it that way. And like AZ1 did. You can't be like, this is the military. You understand what I'm saying? You signed on a dotted line and agreed to certain things before you came in. So there's a proper way of doing things and an improper way of doing things, right? Either you want to be right or you want to be effective. It's up to you. So she had sister locks, and the regulation specifically says no dreadlocks, right? So she tried to use that to do this. Well, these are not dreadlocks. These are sister locks. I was like, boo, you can talk that shit to these white people, but you can't talk that to me, right? I'm a sister. I know locks are locks. They just different sizes. You know what I mean? She was like, no, these are braids because if I could take one of loose. She said, and that's what she was doing. She had one braid, and what she would do is she would find that braid and she would take it loose and show it to people whenever they were challenged. So I was up in D.C. because I had been hearing about this girl for a while. I was up in D.C. and so she called up there and there was more stuff going on. And I was like, sis, we're working on it. Because we were working on a new hair regulation. I was like, sis, we working on it, but you're going to have to get into regulations. You can't fight, and you in the wrong because they're not going to hear what you're saying. You understand what I'm saying? They're not going to hear nothing you're saying because all they know is you are out of regulations. So everything you're saying is invalid, but we are working on it. I'm telling you, we're working on getting this thing moved. But you got so much stuff coming through, now I have more of an understanding of why things take so long, because you got other things that take precedent and things like that, right? I was like, but you got us up here, like we working on it. She's like, but it's not locked, I could take it loose. I said, okay. So can I come and choose any which one of them lock, not the one you choose? Can I come and choose a lock and you take it a loose? And she was like, no. I said, right, don't play no games with me. Do not play no games with me. Like, I'm on your side, but you're not going to try to treat me like I'm some type. You're not going to roll me like I'm a donut. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know I'm black. I know black hair. Okay? So you can say that to, these other guys, these white males. You might be able to pull that on them, but you can't pull that on me. You're making it hard for us to fight for you. You're making it hard for us because you will not get into regulations. And she's like, wow. So they ended up changing the regulations to where you could get locks. Later on they were saying they had to be a certain size. But she got put out.
Because of the spacing, the time, it just didn't match.
Right. It didn't line up. And she would not comply. So if they allow her to stay, you are giving license to other people to now go against what they don't agree with in a military organization. You cannot do that. You got to show them that you can be a follower as well as a leader. There's certain things that you have to do. Like, I fought against many things, but I did it from within regulations. You know what I mean? I'm like, because you got to beat them at their own game. You can't give them anything to be dismissive about. And so she got put out, and then the regulation changed.
Oh, and if you're interested to learn more about my experiences as a Black woman and educator in Guangzhou, China, I wrote my first ebook titled Nowhere and Everywhere, Captured Emotions of a Beautifully Broken Love Story. It is on lulu.com. Take a read and see some beautiful photography of mine. Enjoy the rest of the show.
People were saying, she was done dirty, this, that, I was seeing all this stuff up there. And I was like, I'm calling BS. Okay. That's not how that happened. She did what the hell she wanted to do. There's a cost when you going to do it your way. Right?
No, yeah.
Everything.
That makes sense. Like, I think thinking about arguments, when we're thinking about arguments when you're working in a rigid system, being like, what does it look like to be effective in the system and fight within the system? But then there's also arguments about fighting from outside the system. But I think when it comes to like systems that have been around so long, like the military, you just have to be more strategic. But you also said at the beginning that there's so much red tape and so much, bureaucracy. So you're fighting inside and outside.
And you have to have patience. And you got to get people on your side. People not going to line up behind you and you out of regulations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We trying.
Yeah, because people will always go back to that. Like, every time you're saying this argument, that people are going to go back to the core. And your friend, because she did the town hall, she was able to speak her piece through this internal system and be able to fight it in this way. Like, I definitely think it's a way, and what the other woman did was also a way, but it wasn't as effective. But did it make a stand? Did it keep conversation going? Yes. But
absolutely.
She ended up getting burned in a different way, which is not the...
Right. It's like, what is your end goal? Now, my end goal is just to create change for the Navy and the people coming behind me. She did her job.
Yep. Great.
But if my goal is to be able to affect change and keep my job, she was not effective.
Fair.
And she wanted to stay in and do it her way. You cannot have it both ways. Sometimes a social justice warrior, somebody gonna take a hit for the whole. And so she was that person that took the hit for the whole. My whole thing is feel honored in that.
Yep.
You didn't get the benefit from it, but other people receive the benefit from it. But what you're not going to do is go around and act like somebody did you dirty, because you made a choice. We choose how we going to fight the system.
Yes.
And if you saying I'm going to fight the system from within, then you know it's going to come. It's got a price, right? I retired at 27 years because I was like, I'm not going to be able to effectively fight the system from within anymore. You know, and one of my sisters was like, ma'am, if you leave us, I said, let me tell you something. I can do more for you outside than I can inside. But that was a choice I made, because I know at this point, y'all going to try to come after me and have me looking all crazy. I can do more from the outside, because the higher I was going up in rank, the more restrictive my social justice efforts would become, because I'm becoming more of the establishment. And I just knew I was divinely ordered. It's time for you to go. Because you can do more for them on the outside than you can on the inside. So now what I want to do is help them with transition out, because we don't even realize how institutionalized we are. People come out and then they die within a certain amount of time because they're not within this institution anymore, and we don't even realize the effect that it has on our bodies from a health perspective, whether it's mental health, physical health, emotional health. We don't realize the damage that was caused from serving in the military.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your stories in the chair. Like, I truly, truly appreciate it. Like, I've learned so much today.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help. I really am.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dreme always has a story.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Chair. I, of course, would love your continued support. Let me know what you think of this episode by doing all the things. Subscribe, comment, and come back next week, every week. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. Or if you are like me, enjoy that moonlight and that one star under all your city lights. Love you. Talk to you later.
The chair.
How long I gotta wait for a person to record?
Go.
We support her. Shit.
Do your...
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dreme always has a story. Where we share